Hello everyone, and welcome to today's very interesting and really insightful event. We are going to take a deep dive and see GitHub Copilot in action. As you all know, these past few years, Copilot and other AI advancements have been huge, and we, as aspiring IT professionals, we need to stay up to date with all these new updates and new features so that we can use them to our advantage to work better and a lot more efficient. So, with that said, let's see the agenda for today. Firstly, as per usual, we will have a short introduction to the hosts so that the newcomers will get to know us better. After that, we will talk about Microsoft Learn community and why is it the best way to grow as a professional. After that, we will dive into the main topic, and Boyan will tell us all about what is GitHub Copilot and why is it so powerful. Then me and Nicholas will give you some real-world use cases and a short demo of Copilot so that you immediately get the hang of it. Without further ado, let's dive into the fun stuff and yeah, Boyan, take the floor.
Hey guys, and welcome to our new Microsoft NextGen Heroes event. As Marco said, today we're going to talk about GitHub Copilot and its unlimited benefits, as for our students, as for the professionals, as for everybody in the IT industry. So, firstly, for those of you who are new to our community and who are watching us for the first time, let me make a proper introduction of myself. So, hello everyone again. My name is Boyan Ivanovsky. I'm currently pursuing my software engineering degree at the University American College in Skopje, Macedonia. I'm also a Microsoft Learn student ambassador, and together with Nicholas and Marco, we're trying to spread tech vibes everywhere we go. Some personal hobbies of mine and something that I love doing in my free time is definitely delving into the world of DevOps. When I talk about DevOps, I mean working with tools like Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, which is also a very fun thing for infrastructure as code. And also, I love the cloud computing environment. And when it comes to Microsoft, it is definitely Azure. Um, what I love to do is deploying apps using different types of CI/CD pipelines and automations to the cloud. So that's my area that I learned the most throughout these years as a member of the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors, and I'm glad that Microsoft enabled me this benefit. So without further ado, I would like to give the floor back to Marco so he could make his proper introduction.
Yes, thank you, Boyan. So, hello again to everyone, and my name is Marko Atanasov. Currently pursuing my degree in software engineering at Finke at Skopje, Macedonia. And with my little experience in the IT world, I quickly found my love for DevOps also, same as Boyan. And I love the tools that are being used in the everyday of a DevOps engineer. I would like also to mention that I love being part of MLSA and Microsoft Zero to Hero community because I have made a lot of lasting friendships and have improved my career and my professional life tremendously. I will keep this short and I will let now Nicholas tell you a bit more about himself. Nicholas?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Niklas and I'm 21 years old. I'm currently studying data technician specializing in infrastructure in Denmark. And apart from that, I'm also working as a consultant apprentice at a consulting company. And in my free time, I use a lot of my time diving into Microsoft Intune and speak about Intune at events and blog about Intune, of course. Besides that, I'm also using a lot of my time as a Microsoft Learn student ambassador together with my two good friends here, Marco and Boyan. So that's what I'm using a lot of my time on as well. So yeah, that was a little bit about me. So before we can get started on the session, we would have to take a look at Microsoft Learn. Microsoft Learn is a very interesting community. So I will just share some quick information with you here about Microsoft Learn. So first of all, as we have mentioned on other episodes as well, we are a part of Microsoft Zero to Hero. So if you haven't joined that community yet, you can join it on aka.ms/join Zero to Hero. And in that community, we are currently around 6,000 members together in the community. So it's a great chance for you to get involved and engage with the community. The only thing you have to do is to fill out the form, and then you will be welcomed in the learning room directly on Microsoft Teams. And apart from Microsoft Zero to Hero, there's also other learning rooms as well in the community. So if Zero to Hero doesn't fit your passions, you can see the different learning rooms by browsing into aka.ms/learning rooms. And in there, you can find all the different learning rooms and hopefully find something that will fit your passion. And lastly, Microsoft Learn is a great place to start. So if you are looking to start your learning journey, whether it's on certifications, applied skills, or just general knowledge about Microsoft products, I would recommend you to take a look at aka.ms/Microsoft Learn community. So yeah, that's a little bit about Microsoft Learn. So let's get started.
Yeah. So basically, today we're going to talk about GitHub Copilot. And before we start, I want us to take a quick overview of what we are going to see today exactly. So in this event, we're going to delve into this amazing world of AI, and we'll see some interesting tools like GitHub Copilot and how they help us uh, throughout our everyday tasks as programmers, as IT engineers, as DevOps engineers, as specialists in AI, and so on. So definitely a tool that's very renowned and it's very used. So what is exactly GitHub Copilot? So as most of you know, it's an AI-powered code completion tool, and it was recently developed by GitHub and OpenAI. Basically, it's a virtual pair programmer. So what does this mean? Virtual pair programmer means that we're using this tool, AI tool, not only as a standalone unit, but we're using it as I would say a tool that works together with us. So why I'm saying this? Um, Copilot, GitHub Copilot is something that you need to give it data, to give it instructions on how you want that task to be completed specifically. So it won't generate you code unless you prompt him and unless you give him the exact document of what you need to accomplish. So that's why it's a virtual pair programmer and it works together with you. Also, it has a lot of benefits. So it definitely helps you write codes faster. It will be more professional, more efficient than usual, and also he can teach you many things that you cannot learn during um, the classical approach where you just learn programming by documentation. So here he can give you tips and tricks from the whole world, from experiences that he collects, and then it gives you in a very sophisticated and nice way. It not only suggests entire lines of codes, but it can also generate functions and even more complex algorithms. And what is very interesting that it supports many different programming languages like Python, JavaScript, Java, C++, and so on. So basically, every programming language I think is covered. And also, what I like most about GitHub Copilot is not platform restricted. So you can find it in popular IDEs or or code editors like VS Code, JetBrains, NeoVim, Visual Studio, Android Studio, and many more. So it's a very nice tool, and I definitely um, recommend that you all use it and use it, for the best purpose that you can think of. Also, this is the website of GitHub Copilot, and if you want more information about GitHub Copilot and some interesting tutorials, videos, and some GIFs from GitHub, you can just type githubcopilot.com, and you'll have this amazing website. Also, as you can see on the website, there are some prompts and some document that is given to GitHub Copilot, and you can see how GitHub Copilot has modified these unit tests. And also, he has written the complete unit tests for this given document. So we'll see a very nice demo, which was prepared by our colleague Nicholas, but that will be at the end of the event. And now let's see why we should use this AI tool. So firstly, I have made a quick research, and I have found that GitHub Copilot speeds up the coding to 55%, and also it reduces the repetitive work, and it reduces the boilerplate code, which is something that most of the programmers are searching for. And not only that, but also it can adapt to your coding style, and it will suggest relevant completions, which means that when you are developing your app, GitHub Copilot will quickly follow you, and he will try to give you suggestions that are really close to your coding style. So that's a very big benefit. Also, it can not only be used for solving problems, but it can be used also for explaining code, suggesting fixes, debugging, and so on. So that's a very, very nice benefit that you can take from Copilot. And finally, it definitely speeds up the API calls, and it suggests very nice codes and fixes for UI development. I have personally tried it, and it works amazing with Angular, for example. And if you want to try it with other UI frameworks, and also some backend frameworks too, it works perfectly well. So it doesn't have any limitations. It's simply an amazing tool that just becomes bigger and bigger every day. And not to forget to mention that Copilot has a lot of benefits for students, and us as students and as partners of Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors can tell you that you have these amazing benefits at your hands. So firstly, you have free access to every, I would say, functionality that GitHub Copilot gives you. So you can try explaining stuff with GitHub with Copilot. You can try solving problems that you have in your code, and so on. So you're not limited as a student on what you can use Copilot for. Also, faster learning. So definitely, personally, and also I guess that every one of you as a student have an opportunity to learn new languages using GitHub Copilot, and with other types of AI tools. So definitely that process is much more faster than learning by strongly by the book and by documentation. So here you're more flexible, and you can learn new things much faster. Definitely increased coding efficiency, so coding faster, smarter, and reducing the repetitive task, which I mentioned before, and it's very important. Also, not to forget, there's a quick link which I have put it here, so you can screenshot this link, and you can, when you click on that link, you'll be directed to the page where you can redeem your benefits for students. And one thing to be mentioned here is that you need to have your university email so that you could access this benefit. So that's the only restriction that GitHub has made. And afterwards, if you have your university email, then you can just type it and you can just redeem your benefits. They'll be available, I think, after 2 or 3 days when you send that application form. And after that, you can start using GitHub Copilot for free. So not to take any much more of this theoretical stuff, now let's go to the real stuff and let's see some real world use cases of GitHub Copilot.
Wonderful. This was a really insightful information for GitHub Copilot branch. So, as you said, Copilot isn't just a code generator. It's a smart assistant that understands context. It suggests optimizations in your code and reduces repetitive coding tasks. So for this section, I have selected some of the things from my past experience that Copilot has helped me with a lot and saved a lot of my time in the process. So firstly, I want to talk about this setting up a CI/CD pipeline. So basically, in this project, I needed to set up a CI/CD pipeline for a three-layer app to be hosted in the cloud. And at that time, I didn't have sufficient knowledge about GitHub Actions. And this is where Copilot came to the rescue. It helped me write and optimize that YAML configuration in GitHub Actions. And it also assisted me with Dockerizing the application and setting up the Kubernetes cluster in the cloud. So without Copilot, I would have wasted months in trial and error trying to figure it out on my own. But Copilot helped me finish this task and also taught me why that solution works and how exactly does it work. The next thing Copilot has helped me a lot with, something I use it for the everyday, is with software development and coding. This one time I needed to develop a React-based web application with Node as a backend. So in this process, Copilot always suggested reusable functions to use on the project. It auto-generated unit tests for me because I hate doing unit tests. It did that with Jest for React and Mocha for Node.js. It also, which is really valuable for any software engineer, it identified possible runtime errors or bottlenecks in the application. And most importantly, it suggested fixes for them so that the application adheres to specific to specifications and uh, to load tests so that it's always working. And with this, I completed the project a lot faster than expected, and I learned about these best practices to use while building applications in React and Node. So yeah, I will also like to mention that Copilot does automatic scans of all of your code you push to a repo. In order, it does this to detect vulnerabilities in your code, like SQL injection risks or hard-coded credentials. This second one actually happened to me once, and it once it detected those hard-coded credentials, it sent me an alert and a suggestion to fix it. In my opinion, this may be the best feature that GitHub Copilot has, and this is why it's a necessary tool for any developer or any IT professional. So yeah, I have talked a lot. So now I will let Nicholas show you how GitHub Copilot works. Nicholas.
Yeah, thank you, Marco. So now we have come to the last part of the presentation where we're going through the demonstration, but also a little conclusion. So first of all, when you're logging into GitHub, on the website, you will get a look at a prompt that you might have seen before, or might have seen a similar one before from ChatGPT as an example. And in here, you have the opportunity to install Copilot in your favorite code editor. You can also ask Copilot about a specific question. However, you also have some predefined questions or something that GitHub has given you that you can try if you don't have a question in your mind at the moment. And lastly, you can change the GPT as well. So that's how it looks in the website of GitHub Copilot at the first site. And as I mentioned before, it's possible to install Copilot in your favorite code editor. So whether you're using Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio, Xcode, JetBrains, NeoVim, or Azure Data Studio, it's possible to integrate Copilot in those specific code editors. So if you're not a big fan of, I don't know, Visual Studio Code, then you perhaps could install Copilot in JetBrains. So yeah, there is plenty of opportunities for you in order to integrate Copilot into your favorite code editor. So it's really flexible in that matter as well, and it will give you some good opportunities here. So yeah, the next video is where I've got some existing code from GitHub, and then I've asked Copilot if they can help optimize this PowerShell code. And then Copilot are returning with a response saying, sure, I can help optimize this code. Here's an improved version of your PowerShell script. And then it has improved my PowerShell script, and in the bottom it's mentioning what it has changed. So if I'm not a strong programmer, then I can read in plain text what Copilot has been changed. And it's also giving me a good opportunity in order to make sure that it doesn't change anything I don't want it to change. Because if that was the case, then I could ask Copilot to revert the changes that it has made as well. So that's how it's optimizing my existing code. So I've also asked Copilot in the next video after this one to create code from the bottom, and it's creating new code. And I think we all hate getting into school and then you don't have a calculator. So what I did was to ask Copilot if it could create a calculator with C# code that I could use in school. So Copilot was saying, yeah, no worries, hang tight, and then I will create a simple application in C#, and it will support basic calculations. And after it did so, it created the C# code around, I think, 80 lines of code. And it's pretty much amazing how fast it can create this code, because if I had to do it, it would take all day to write that much code. And lastly, as it did with the optimizing part in the earlier video, it's giving me an explanation about what the code does and also how it interacts with my inputs as well. And then it's actually also mentioning where it got the code from. And as you can see, it's referring to public code from 6 different repositories. And then it's giving me an explanation. And the first one is saying that the application will run in a loop and allow the user to perform multiple calculations. And it's also prompting the users to select an operation as well. And the third is that it's giving the user the ability to input 2 numbers for the calculation. And then the result is displayed. And if the user would like to perform another calculation, that's also possible. And then a loop will continue, otherwise it exits the code. And lastly, of course, it's saying that I can compile the code and run it using C# compiler or an IDE like Visual Studio. So yeah, and if I wanted to be a little bit more difficult, then I could ask Copilot to optimize it more, or perhaps giving me more opportunities for different kind of codes. It could be that I wanted a calculator in different code languages and not only in C#. It could also be that I had some some files that I wanted to upload to Copilot as well. That's also possible if I wanted to do that. So yeah, there is a lot of different opportunities here, and I only think the sky's the limit, I would say as well. So it's it's giving you a lot of opportunities. And don't worry if you're not a experienced developer. I'm not as well, so it takes sometimes a lot of my time to learn code. So instead of just giving Copilot the opportunity to create all of the code, you can perhaps be as Copilot to explain how to get started as well, if you wanted to deep dive in and learn to write the code yourself as well. So yeah, there's a lot of different opportunities here. So that was the 2 videos, and I would say that our next event is next month in March, the 13th of March, and I can promise you guys that that event is going to be nice. However, we cannot reveal the session title or the session information just yet. We are trying to arrange it still, so hang tight and we will get back to you guys as soon as possible.
Any questions considering this presentation?
I haven't seen someone in StreamYard, I think.
Let's give them some few minutes to
Yeah.
to write some questions if they have, and maybe we could just sum it up at the end.
Yeah, sure. And it could also be some session ideas for the next session that you want us guys to talk about. So if you have any ideas for any sessions or anything you would like us to take a look at, definitely write it in the chat as well, or message us directly on LinkedIn.
Yeah, we'll definitely be accepting some interesting ideas for our next sessions, and we'll be also making our team bigger. So we'll make a few expansions, and it will be very interesting these few months. So we are preparing a form for all the new members that would like to join Microsoft Zero to Hero and also Microsoft NextGen Heroes, so that we could make even more events in the month, and maybe we can also make some interesting panel discussions, or we'll invite special guests, and we'll definitely have a lot of fun these next months. So expect a lot of interesting things coming up, and we'll I guess that we'll see each other next month with our next special event.
Yeah. All right. Have a
Bye,
great
guys.
day, everyone.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.